seems you got your energy back for a little bit at least. So yeah, I noticed I kind of missed an album last time that came between Middle and Amagama and more. But yeah, so I realized I forgot about Adam Heart Mother, which we will get into. I hope you have enough energy because today will be a Yap Fest. Or well, this time will be a Yap Fest. So let's start with the album cover. So Pink Floyd, well, they just wanted to go basic. They wanted something that wouldn't really catch any eyes. They wanted something simple. They wanted people to have the record for the music and not just the album cover. And so they decided to just plop a cow on the front in a field, which then they went to a farm and asked the farmer, saying like, hey, we want to use, can we get a picture of one of your cows? And the farmer agreed. So they took a picture, and that would be the album cover. Kind of just a cow looking back at you. But they posted this over billboards in the US and I'm assuming UK as well. But people really seemed to like it. So they're planning on not having an interesting album cover. It kind of backfired. But yeah, I only really listened to one of the songs in this album. The other being, and then I know of the other ones, but haven't really listened to those ones. But yeah, so let's start with the one I know, the self-titled track, which is Adam Heart Mother. And so this one has kind of a medieval feel to it. I don't think there was any real significance, any meaning behind this song. The band kind of just decided, hey, let's play this song. Let's just jam out on our instruments. And so it starts off with trumpets, just very kind of announcing the song is starting. And then it ramps up into kind of an epic sounding, like as if the king just entered, or something like that. And so this goes on for a little bit. Then it wavers down back into the trumpets. Then brings in maybe an organ. I know there's a violin. And yeah, very, very chill. And after that little segment of instrumental, it kind of phases into something creepy. Kind of, imagine you're maybe lost in a new unknown world. It's got like kind of chimes maybe bells. Comes with some wailing of some sort, some screaming maybe. I'm not sure, quite sure what to call it. But then after that, kind of there's a little motorcycle in there, little yeah, and so very weird part of the song. And then it kind of you start to hear the music begin to come back, but there's no one direction it's going, kind of reinforcing the feeling of being lost, of maybe to strike some feeling of anxiousness in you. But yeah, then it starts to come back up, and as things start to come back together and the song starts to restructure itself, there's a spoken line saying, "Silence in the studio. Silence in the studio." So I feel that signifies like telling the listener that the music is coming back. And boy, does it sure come back. It's really the same feeling as earlier, medieval, like king has just entered the room. Yeah. And then there is, after that, there is Alan's psychedelic breakfast. Alan's psychedelic breakfast. And so that one is a kind of a weird one. I haven't really listened to the whole thing, but it's interesting. You can hear like the sounds of silverware and like early morning sounds. And the funny thing, I guess a funny line in this is just, I guess the character Alan saying, "Marmalade, I like marmalade." But yeah, there's not really much. I listened to it, so not much I know about it, but found that pretty funny. And then there is Fat Old Sun, which I also haven't listened to. But from the name of the song, I'd like to imagine it's kind of about some older person who may have a bit of a gut, but he seems he might be the light in other people's lives. Yeah. Then there's also Summer of '68, and again, haven't listened to that one, but from the sounds of it, maybe nice to listen to on a nice summer day, or maybe a cold winter day to imagine a nice day in the summer. But yeah, unfortunately, that's all I really have for Adam Hart Mother. Good self-titled track, and I'm sure the other songs there are good too. Pink Floyd never seems to disappoint. But yeah, then jump forward a few years. is when Dark Side of the Moon comes out. Dark Side of the Moon. Dark Side of the Moon. And that one seemed to be where things really started taking off for them after Sid was kind of kicked out the band. But with that one, it has a lot of my favorite songs in it. There's Breathe in the Air. There's Us and Them. Any Color You Like. Brain Damage. And Eclipse. Money. Time. All very good songs. All very good. But yeah. So, Breathe in the Air is definitely a very chill song. Kind of talking about maybe breathe in the roses. Look at what's going on around. Maybe it's about a song about trying to keep calm, but in the end is really about the endless work of back then and continued into to today. With the lyrics like, run, rabbit, run, dig that hole, forget the sun. When at last the work is done, don't sit down, it's time to dig another one. And yeah, and so it's kind of saying, to me at least, like, you're never truly done working. And shoot, sorry, and well, the sun could signify or be a metaphor for happiness. And once you stop chasing the sun or forget about it, then you're kind of forgetting about your own happiness. But hey, who am I to know? I didn't write the song. But yeah. And then it was into the song On the Run, which is kind of one of those songs that isn't necessarily a song. Definitely instills fear or anxiousness with everything that's going on. There's like high kind of synth sounding noises and laughter, but like maniacal laughter. There's well, in the end of the song, there's kind of sounds like a plane kind of taking off on the runway. Maybe it's to signify the fear of traveling or how anxious it can make people. And a funny thing there is it can, I'm not sure if it may just be a joke or if it's something that actually came up in an interview, but that one is to kind of talk about Richard Wright's fear of traveling by plane or airports in general. But yeah, then that one, everything kind of fades out, and you start hearing the sounds of ticking clocks as the album or the next song shifts into time. And that one, well, maybe obvious, is about time, but eventually the ticking comes to a stop. then all the clocks start going off, all their alarms, all their bells are just ringing. And so that goes on for a little bit. It's a little note of an electric guitar is played, and kind of sounds like bongos are being played as well, and a little bit of maybe piano or something like that. I'm not very good on sounds of instruments, but yeah, and so that goes on for a bit, maybe setting the mood for the song, but quickly it turns, Nick starts beating his drums like boom, 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 boom. And the song really takes its energy up as David Gilmour starts singing, taking away the moments that make up a dull day, for turn waste in the owls in an offhand way, kicking around on a piece of ground in your hometown, waiting for someone or something to show you the way. And so I imagine this could be talking about, well, how we can't really expect somebody to tell us when to start, well, doing things, following dreams, and how time moving forward is unstoppable, and there's no way to move it backwards. But yeah, and it may also be more related to kind of like breathe in the air, where it's talking about work and maybe somebody who failed to realize their dreams, who didn't get started on things. Given the lyrics, no one told you when to run, you missed the starting gun. And you run and you run to catch up with the sun, but it's sinking, racing around to come up behind you again. And so, yeah, kind of just signifying time will always move on, and you can't chase the past. You can't change the past. You can't change anything you have done, but you can decide to live with it. But yeah, and so I think it's also talking about maybe a character, an older guy, with the lyrics, which also turns out to be kind of a reprise of Breathe in the Air, but with the lyrics, home, home again. I like to be here when I can. And when I get home, cold and tired, it's good to warm my bones beside the fire. So yeah, it's kind of talking about maybe he's had a long day at work, and might be a colder season, and so he finally gets to relax in the comfort of his home by a nice warm fire, maybe thinking over things that have gone on through the day. And so yeah, it's I'm not, and I can't say, I don't know any of these for sure. But as it sounds to me, that's what it sounds like. And then there is, I believe, let's see, goes into the next song, which would be maybe, I believe, not us and them. Nah, doesn't really matter. But next song I will talk about is us and them. Kind of saying us and them. Differing, having some opposites in the song. Might be talking about war or the stresses it brought upon. The whole album really is kind of talking about the stresses of daily life. But yeah, so us and them, why I think it's mostly about war is, well, mostly because of the lyrics. Forward he cried, from the rear, and the front rank died. The general sat, and the lines on the map moved from side to side. But the song starts off very chill, and then, yeah, really springs up with those lyrics. Then begins to calm down again. But yeah, kind of can see it being about war, as that is definitely one of the problems that was a little, well, I wouldn't say bigger back then, but definitely something that needed to be talked about. And yeah, then after that it fades into any color you like, which I find is very nice to just chill, maybe on a lake, maybe just enjoy nature, go kayaking or paddleboarding. It's a nice little instrumental, and I might have it as my phone ringtone. But yeah, and then actually, all throughout the album, there's a little fact that so there's some talking throughout the albums between the songs, just short lines, kind of like interviews, which was what those were. But basically, Pink Floyd, they were gonna interview celebrities, and, well, they did, kind of asking them things about their life or stuff like that. But they found their answers to be too boring, and so they turned to some other people, maybe their crew from the studios they record in, or maybe just some random people. But yeah, and so that's a neat little thing about Dark Side of the Moon, is that none of the albums really have little interviews in between. But yeah, next we'll move on to The Great Pig in the Sky. The Great that one, it's definitely a song about losing someone. It is more so an instrumental. As, like there's a lady humming and kind of singing, but no lyrics. Um, but yeah, um, the reason I think, well, it's about losing a loved one is a little blurb at the beginning from an interview saying, "I'm not afraid of dying. Any time will do." Uh, and then another reason is in the studio. So Pink Floyd asked this lady, like, "Hey, imagine death and just sing from your heart." And so that's exactly what she did. But the Great Gig in the Sky is also kind of referencing to whatever's out there. But yeah. And then there is, let's see, there's money. You know, another stressor of the world, of the people. Because in this world, you do need money to survive. So this one's kind of talking about maybe some rich guy who talks about, or well, sings about what he's gonna do with money. No, the reason I think why he's rich is because he talks about, might buy me a football team, or might need me a Lear jet. And so, yeah, might be on the richer side. But yeah, and then later on, it goes into a little guitar solo as well. There's some saxophones, some guitar. I think there's still some drums in there. But yeah, and it's kind of denying the cause of money being the root of all evil in these last lyrics. Um, maybe as satire, but money, so they say, is the root of all evil today. But if you ask for a raise, it's no surprise you're given none away, 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 away. So, it's the higher ups maybe being greedy. Not wanting to spare any of their money to give an employee a raise. But yeah. Let's see, what else do we have? There is, yes, brain damage and eclipse. You see, I put these two together despite now, because they flow right into, well, brain damage flows right into eclipse. And I mean, despite the whole album really doing the same thing, one song flowing into the next, it's definitely one of the better two that flow into each other. But this brain damage is kind of talking about, like, or just in general the struggles of life. It's also maybe where um, a little bit of the band talking about Sid comes in as well. It's well, yeah, more so Sid than the struggles of life. Mostly because of the lyrics. And when the cloud bursts into thunder in your ear, you shout aloud, but no one seems to hear. And if your head explodes with dark foreboding tunes, I'll see you on the dark side of the moon. And also the lyrics. And if the band you're in starts playing different tunes, I'll see you on the dark side of the moon. And so, I think that's about Sid, just because, well, maybe the first set of lyrics might kind of signify maybe insanity, maybe your mind breaking apart a little. And then the different tunes part is kind of saying, I think, going different ways, as Sid being kicked out kind of went his own way as the band went theirs. But yeah, that's what I think about it personally. And then let's see, it goes into Eclipse at some point. But with that, it starts with kind of what I'd imagine is, I think, maybe an organ. But the song kind of talking about opposites. And it kind of brings back a little bit of Breathe in the Air, with the lyrics, all that you touch, all that you see, all that you taste, all you feel, all that you love, all that you hate, all you distrust, all you save, and all that you deal, and all that you buy, beg, borrow, or steal, all you create, all you destroy, all you do, and all you say, and all that you eat, and everyone you meet, and all that's just light, and everyone you fight, all that is now, all that is gone, all that's to come, and everything under the sun is eclipsed by the moon. Yeah. So it's kind of saying, like, maybe everything done can be covered up, or you can forget about it and start anew. But yeah, Dark Side of the Moon is definitely one of their more serious sounding albums, at least lyrics wise. But it's definitely one of my favorites. So yeah, that was Dark Side of the Moon, 1973. And then 2 years later, they released the album Wish You Were Here, which was completely about Sid. somewhat about the music industry too. But yeah, with it only had 5 songs, I believe. Sounds about right. But there was one song that was split into 2, just for simply being so long, and it was also the start and the end of the album, I believe. But yeah, so it was Shine On You Crazy Diamond, parts 1 through 5. Then Shine On You Crazy Diamond, parts 6 through 9. But yeah, those ones are definitely talking about Sid, given the lyrics. Go on, you raver, you seer of visions, sail on the steel breeze. Yeah. Something, shoot, sorry, I can't quite remember, despite having listened to it so much. But, oh yeah. So, how is it a little wrong, actually? So it's, you've worn out your welcome with random precision. Sail on the steel breeze. Come on, you raver, you seer of visions. Mind of troubled delusions and shine. And so, obviously, I mean, it kind of sounds like they're wishing him the best. And they feel bad for, well, kicking him out of the band and having all this success years later, as it's been 7 years since he was kicked. But yeah, so that's also kind of cemented with the song Wish You Were Here, with the lyrics, how I wish you were here, or how I wish you were here. We're just 2 lost souls swimming in a fishbowl year after year, running over the same old ground. What can't be found, same old fears, wish you were here. And so, that one, I feel like it may also slightly be talking about the tension that's growing between Roger and David. With the lyrics, we're just 2 lost souls swimming in a fishbowl. And it might be, kind of saying, like, they might feel lost without Sid. That they're not quite sure where to go without him. And that they feel bad about, making him leave. And then, yeah, but then the song's about the music industry being welcome to the machine and have a cigar. Have a cigar. Well, they both portray it pretty well. Have a cigar is definitely a lighter, more cheerful sounding song than Welcome to the Machine. But I feel like Have a Cigar is trying to, it's a music producer, a music label trying to convince the singer or the band to sign on to their label. Maybe, offering them a cigar to ease their tensions about them. The lyrics, come in here, dear boy, have a cigar, you're gonna go far, you're gonna fly high, you're never gonna die, you're gonna make it if you try, they're gonna love you. So he's trying to, yeah, might be lying or just trying to convince the musician that they are, well, gonna do great and that they should chase it. But then the pressure is starting to set in as the label starts to tell them, you gotta get another album out for the people. We're so happy we can hardly count. Let's see, is it do it for the people? You gotta get another album out. We're so happy we can hardly count. One of those two. But yeah. And so there's also the lyrics. And if we tell you the name of the Game Boy, we call it Riding the Gravy Train. And so that might be, those altogether could be deception, could be trying to hide some things that would be coming down the road as they continue to make music, all the troubles that might come with it. But yeah, and then there's Welcome to the Machine. Welcome to the Machine. That one is a lot sadder sounding. There's like a synth, I think acoustic guitar, but just kind of saying like, welcome to the music industry, and more maybe trying to put visions into their head, into the musician's head. So with the lyrics, what did you dream? It's alright, we told you what to dream. You dreamed of a big star. He played a mean guitar. Always ate at the steak bar. And he loved to drive in his Jaguar. So welcome, my son. Welcome to the machine. But yeah. So that's why I think it might be, obviously welcoming him to fame and fortune, and maybe the not so happy life that comes with it. You may be happy on stage, but and with all the money, but eventually, that happiness might run out. But I'm not famous. What can I say? What can I say about this? So, yeah. But, yeah, then, that's about it that I have for the music. However, for the album cover, is, one guy on the left, and one guy on the right. Now, the guy on the left, his suit, they're both in suits, but he's looking good for wear. But the guy on the right is on fire. Yeah, I know, it's a little whack. It's also a pretty cool album cover. And then there's what looks to be kind of like a burn mark, like being burnt away on the album. And it's behind the guy on fire. But I suppose the guy on fire might be a metaphor to Sid. the guy on the left could be anybody in the band. But yeah, the guy, so there are some pictures out there of outtakes of the guy on fire, because he was actually on fire. Like, they set him on fire for the album cover. But yeah, and so he almost got really hurt. Like, definitely got a few burns. And he was like, all right, I'm done with this. Like, you could pay me no amount of money to come back. This is basically what he said. But yeah, so they really do go all out for their album covers. But another interesting fact, during the Wish You Were Here sessions, recording the songs, somebody kind of waltzed their way into the studio they were recording in. And he had like a very, very, like, close to the head buzz cut, like maybe even bald. And he was a little on the thicker side and shaved his eyebrows too. But the band members are like, who's this guy, like, walking in with no permission, basically. But one of them realizes, they recognize the face. They're like, oh my god, is that Sid? And so they, let the other band members know, like, hey, that's Sid. And, well, it's just amazing how he walks into the one session they're recording, the one album they're recording that's about him. Kind of like fate. It was, they were happy to see an old friend, since it's been 7 years. And there's some pictures out there with, I can't remember, it might have been David, it might have been Roger, but one of them sitting next to Sid, and just, they're hanging out. They decide to hang out for a little bit, catch up, and they're playing guitar together. But it is truly beautiful that, yeah, like I said, he just happens to come in on during the studio sessions that they're recording music about him. But yeah, and so looks like you're getting a little tired again, but I also don't want to keep you too long either, keep you awake too long. So I'll leave you be for now. And thanks for listening to my yap. I'm probably gonna get kicked out eventually. I don't know where the store owner is, but I haven't bought a single thing, and I might be loitering. But we'll see. But yeah, you sleep well. Get your energy for the next yap session. Alright. See you later, cutie.